Once upon a time, years ago, there was a live stream for the PlayStation 5 in 2020. This live stream was a showcase of the console's power and technological versatility in the way of displaying the next generation of great games for young and old, boys and girls, and all in between. Many games were memorable for their childlike aesthetic and gameplay like Bugsnax. Others were memorable for their crazy sci-fi aesthetic and narrative like Pragmata, a game so mysterious but also so captivating in its WTF factor that I swore it was a Hideo Kojima game at first. Still waiting for that game to come out, by the way. But ignoring those and the others, there was one game that was very, very, very well remembered. Well, remembered for all the wrong reasons.
You ever feel like you're just waiting for a sign? To do that thing you've always meant to do. Sometimes I feel like I'm just standing on the edge of doing great things. But something's holding me back.
This is Goodbye Volcano High, one of the many games introduced during the showcase, and also the single individual one that was the most universally laughed at. And if I have to tell you what's so hilariously awful, so secondhand embarrassment inducing, and so clearly high school angst tier cringe about this, then I really don't know what to tell you. Go seek an ophthalmologist, dude. This trailer was put on display at the biggest Sony showcase in the world. Nobody knew or understood what the game was going to be, or barely what it was even about. Nobody was interested in a game with character designs this ugly, genuinely looking like they were pulled out of some 12-year-old girl's abandoned Tumblr page, and nobody was interested in what looked like one of those cheap shovelware visual novels you would buy on Steam for like $3 tops. So, yeah. Naturally, it was universally trashed on and ridiculed. Boys, I wanted to feel bad about this situation. You can very clearly tell just from this early trailer that this is not some $1 million AAA product, and is very clearly the work of a few newbie animators and storytellers who just came together and formed a rinky-dink-ass video game to express their feelings. However, if that's the case, and that very clearly is the case, there's no other explanation for this, why the hell didn't these morons just not advertise their work on this major showcase? Because, you know, all eyes are on Sony for their newest console, so essentially they're being watched by the entire gaming world. And look, I guess I kind of understand, you do need money, you're a studio and all, but still, if you think that this is okay to be shown to the mainstream crowd in any way, shape, or form, then you have zero self-awareness, is the bottom line, and you're straight up asking to get bullied. It's like wearing a fursuit to high school. This trailer, no. This entire game's existence being put on display wouldn't be acceptable in any live stream video game presentation, let alone a showcase for Sony's most powerful console yet. So yeah, that's the general gist of it. Cringy furry game gets laughed out of existence, people posted their obligatory nasty little comments because YouTube comment section and live stream chats are only designed for people to complain and say negative things for 5 seconds worth of approval. People created weird memes that I actually can't post in this video because I like not being demonetized. Everyone had their little laughs, and then everybody moved on to the next big thing to point and laugh at. The internet in a nutshell. You would think that's the whole gist. The game eventually released, it came and went, and everyone moved on. Right? Well, wrong. Because what actually happened is one of the biggest behind-the-scenes disasters I've seen, right next to those disgusting Blizzard allegations we all found out. Let me show you everything that went down prior to this game's launch. Okay, so, motive. Any normally functioning human being after witnessing this garbage would just get up, point and laugh at it, and then move along with their life after seeing this awful garbage, right? Yeah, well, not me, because after seeing this terrible trailer, Okay, I'll be completely honest. I kinda developed a weird obsession with wanting to play this game as soon as possible, solely because I wanted to point and laugh at how bad it actually was. So yeah, I kept my eyes glued to the news and release date on this thing, and I've discovered many, many interesting things, boys. Remember how I said this was showcased on the PS5 pre-release showcase? You know how that went down in 2020? Yeah, well, the game didn't come out until 2023. And the game, from first glance, looks like a short visual novel, and you would figure that it wouldn't take 3 whole goddamn years to get something that simple fully released. But, well, there were many snags. Let's get a look at them now. The game's initial announcement went down in 2020, with a release window of 2021. Then, it got delayed and pushed into 2022. So, just like the general year, it's eventually going to come out within that year. They never hammered out a specific date. What is the reason, you ask? Well, the original lead writer of this visual bile, Kate Gray, is a controversial individual. Controversial in the sense that she used to work as a journalist for Kotaku, and then she made an article where she very nonchalantly posted images of SFM porn of underage Harry Potter characters in the article. Yes, I am dead ass about that. That actually happened. So, yeah, people eventually found out about this and publicized it everywhere. And since the development studio behind this game, Co-op, knew for a fact that sales were going to be low due to the whole, oh my god, the mind behind our creation publicly posted 3D lolly hentai like it's nobody's business thing, they decided to get rid of her and remove all trace of her presence from the game. They tried to make up a cheap cop-out saying some BS about avoiding crunch or some nonsense, but when you publicly announce a narrative reboot while also getting rid of the one person with a controversial background in your workforce, what is common sense telling you there? And yeah, as morally good as that is, that's also a problem for the production of this game. Because, you know, this narrative-driven game was originally meant to be released in 2021, and you just got rid of your narrative director and all of the stuff she wrote for that narrative. So they went off and sought new writers, which essentially means that they're starting the game all the way from the ground up again since it's a glorified visual novel. I want to move on to the next tidbit, but I want you guys to think about that. A story-based video game is getting a reboot to its story literally months before its release window was met. It's the equivalent of ordering a pizza, having the cashier admit that they fucked up your order, and then getting a brand new pizza like not even 5 minutes later. Like you know that this thing is going to be even more fucked up, you know? But yeah, they got new writers. And after more irritated waiting, they plan to get their game properly released sometime eventually in 2022. And then the game came out and everyone played it, right? Well, no, it got delayed again. This time hiding under the excuse of coronavirus slowing their progress down. Yeah, sorry, I don't buy the fact that COVID is the reasoning here. I think they're lying, because the game was announced and there was already a dead set story and fully animated and drawn characters by 2020 when you announced this game in the PS5 showcase, right? 2020, as we all know, is when COVID was at its absolute worst at the time. So how is it even possible that now it's dragging you down? My point is that they're obviously lying, that's all I'm trying to say. But yes, after that, they hammered out a new date, which is about June of the year after. And after even more irritated waiting, the calendar hit summer of 2023. Then the game came out and everybody played it, right? Well, no, because it got delayed. Again. This time under the absolutely idiotic excuse of wanting to avoid some release dates of large-scale AAA games like Diablo 4 and Street Fighter 6, which is absolutely fucking stupid because anyone with any form of common sense can easily tell you that your rinky-dink-ass, small potatoes, non-binary dino angst simulator is not on the same level of competition as any mainstream video game out there. But yeah, they hammered out another date. Again, which is about August of 2023. And then the game finally came out, this time for real, after 3 entire years after its initial display to the public. After all the delays, controversies, awful memes, and many other things that I haven't even brought up in this video, we are finally here. And as excited as I am to finally review this thing, I'm also very sad. Because, well, pretty much everyone has long forgotten about this thing. Like I said, people very quickly move on to other things. It's just the way we ingest media since there's just so much of it nowadays. But whatever, I still want to indulge myself in this as I have been waiting so long to do so. After this massive disaster that is the background of this production, how is the game itself? Well, we're going to be getting into that next video. But spoiler alert, it's obviously complete ass. To be continued in part 2. It's time for the Patreon roll call. My $10 supporters are Art Blocked, Cammy Bees, Jack G, Joseph Vincent, Klutzy Ninja Kitty, May Kaji, Procrastinator Dave, Skyer, Sindred7, and Stormy Knight. And let's not forget our $5 supporters. They are appreciated just as much as our $10 Patreons. If you'd like to be in the credits of my videos as well, just catch me on patreon.com/blacklightjack. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.